Once again, we visit Pandora, precisely the great forests of the continent, to witness one of its most unique and fascinating herbivores, the Kentrosaurus. This is a pair of these magnificent creatures. Some of the rarer and more feisty inhabitants of these lands. The Kentrosaurus is a close relative of the Stegosaurus. However, unlike its more famous relative, it is slightly smaller, with only a length of only about 5 meters and a weight of only about 1.5. However, it excuses the size with something already being noticeable. Its extremely protective layout in the form of large spikes, some of the largest in history in fact. The Kentrosaurus of Pandora are usually solitary and only come into small herds and partner up during mating seasons, which happen about 2 times a year. Unlike most solitary herbivores, however, Kentrosaurus don't have defined territories and prefer to travel around the dense woodlands in search of viable food sources. This pair specifically has been together for about a month now, and will soon reach the time for them to split up again, to go their separate ways. The one on the right is a young and less experienced female, as indicated by a less vibrant skin color. She has mated with her partner on multiple occasions already, yet still stays around him for comfort and guidance. Her name is Gracespine. The one on the left is an elderly bull, as indicated by its more vibrant colors and larger shoulder spikes, which are deemed for attraction. Who has traveled through countless forests and has fought with fiercest of opponents, and has fathered multiple generations of Kentrosaurus. His name is Warspike. The woodlands of Pandora have increasingly become less inhabitable of these fierce herbivores, as the forests give way to larger grasslands. Along with that, they are outcompeted by larger herbivores, such as their famous relative, and preyed upon by predators even they can defeat, such as the terrible Allosaurus. Still, the Kentrosaurus are arguably the most successful inhabitants of the continent at this time, and don't face any larger threats, except very few. Warspike and Gracespine specifically are on a quest to find a new home, as they have fled from a great drought in the southern parts of the continent, which is in fact the reason for this increasing amount of grasslands. Soon enough, they are accompanied by a Kentrosaurus. As with their larger relative, it keeps a symbiotic relationship with the spiked herbivores and warns them of predators. Such is this one, which may have been the Kentrosaurus, one of the most common predators in these areas. Luckily for Warspike and Gracebine, the two have finally found a river and decide to take a quick dip and freshen themselves up. The Kentrosaurus, meanwhile, takes a quick bath, probably to clean itself from the thicker vegetation. Kentrosaurus is unquestionably one of the most magnificent dinosaurs that ever lived. Although small, it is as fierce as a wildfire, yet still as gentle as a sheep. Unless provoked, of course. Warspike specifically has gone on such journeys multiple times in his youth, when he still lived in the south, and as challenge knows how to rely on his fellow Kentros and protect his scouts. He has also started to become rather distressed. Not because of the Kentrosaurus seen earlier, but because he knows his mate will leave him rather soon. Night settles in, and we come across one of the rarest predators in these woods. A concavenator. This weird-looking dinosaur was once one of the most feared predators in these lands. But like Kentrosaurus, it is now on its retreat, thanks to a larger or more capable carnivore stalking these grounds. Perhaps one day, they will too find their place. We once again join up with Warspike, whom has already parted ways with his mate, as well as with the Kentrosaurus, who is now accompanying her, knowing that Warspike is more of a risk as an elder. But now alone, an elderly Kentrosaurus continues on his journey to escape the now ever closer creeping drought. Noon settles in. However, something is amiss. A Ceratosaurus, the most fierce predator and apex of these woodlands. It is also the arch enemy of the Kentrosaurus. And Warspike knows very much that even one of these means problems, and as such he retreats into the nearby swamp. Unfortunately for him, however, the Ceratosaurus is accompanied by a second one, indicating they're a couple, out for spiked flesh. Now in a haste, Warspike tries to get away from them as fast as possible. However, thanks to his age and heavy body, he is unable to outpace them, as he is soon enough met with the female of the pack, staying closely behind him, keeping a keen eye on him, trying to chase him out into the open. Warspikes soon enough reaches the Ceratosaur's intended destination, Archaece having brought him to the limits of his strength, and the predators are coming ever closer. Unfortunately, Warspikes soon enough loses sight of him, and thinking he's safe again, he approaches a nearby bush to eat. However, the predators are still coming, ever closer. Something is amiss. the fight begins. Now being cornered by the predators, Warspike readies himself, trying to keep the predators at bay with his deadly behind. Unfortunately for him, however, the Ceratosaurus coming too and easily outmaneuver him as well, giving him a lot of trouble. Seems like they're gaining the upper hand. Warspike finally lands a blow on the male. And eventually female, giving him a little bit of time to adjust. He eventually lands a serious blow on the male, driving him off temporarily and allowing him to look for a way out. He once again shakes the spikes in an attempt to intimidate them, which fails. However, he eventually lands a finishing strike on the male. Shaking off last bits of blood, he leaves the grieving female to a dead spouse, continuing on his long journey. Battles such as these have severely increased in numbers, as both of these unique herbivores and carnivores are forced out of their natural habitats, direct confrontations, thanks to the changing environment and appearance of new competition. However, Warspike has survived, and this means we'll survive another day. Perhaps this old Kentrosaurus will one day. End his journey.